Hello and welcome back to the channel of Major Look 92, the Shaman of Gaming. After a frankly disgusting and despicable exile from this whole YouTube scene, I know, I am a veiny penal helmet, but I am back now, and you might be wondering why on earth I'm uploading a Dark Souls video that isn't a continuation of my Claws build. Well, I actually have some unfortunate news, and that news is that I have completely lost everything that I had recorded. Obviously, the 2 episodes that I'd uploaded, and then I'd sort of recorded maybe 3, 4, 5 episodes after that, and I completely lost it. I actually have completely lost every rendered gameplay that I have on my computer. So that is very unfortunate news. So what I've decided to do instead, and in place of that, is start a new build. Obviously, the thing is with the claws, it had to be on new game because you can get claws fairly early on in the game, but not through the whole game. And I really wanted to play the entire game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a game completely new, and I'm going to do something I've not really done before. I'm going to do a quality build with kind of with a twist. I'm going to use stuff that I don't really, I've not really seen much of, like many people using, maybe underused and underappreciated weapons. Well, that remains to be seen, obviously, with, however, well, the fare, against the sort of more typical weapons, typical quality weapons like the Claymore. So the first weapon that I'm going to primarily try to start using a little bit is the Winged Spear. I don't know how often it really gets used. I don't think it gets used a massive amount. I know I haven't used it, really at all. It's just not something that I've ever invested into because, for one, I've never really done a straight quality build, so I've never really had the opportunity to use it extensively. Well, that's the first weapon we're going to use, and then maybe just use some other ones as we move along. What I'm probably going to do is, if I have to do any sort of farming, which I will have to do, I always end up having to farm for large titanite shards to get a +10 as early on as I can. Probably what I'll do is I'll just do that off camera, and I'll let you know at the end of the episode that that's going to be happening sort of before I upload the next video, so you don't have to bear through that again. Look at those fucking hands! It looks like I've got the claws on already, but just so you don't have to bear through me doing it. I'll probably have to. I probably won't have to, but I will be doing some farming for chunks as well at some point, and possibly some other things, depending on what I'm planning to use. Really, I might use a sort of shield that I haven't used before as well. Like some shields that I just usually stick by. Pretty much the boulder shield is just a mainstay. Whenever I play this game, it's just the shield that I always come back to, just because of the stability and all that kind of thing. I might try and use something that has other benefits, and something that I haven't really used before extensively and I haven't really invested much into. Maybe the spider shield or something similar to that that I can get early on. But yeah, it's just going to be an unusual playthrough. I don't know what the fuck that is. It's a new epidemic, but no. I'm just going to be doing a playthrough of stuff that's unusual to me. I don't know how unusual it's going to be in terms of the community overall, but yeah, unusual to me. Oh, that was a very late parry. I've actually been playing a hell of a lot of this game recently. Pretty much for one reason. It's because I actually haven't had this game here recently. I've actually just introduced 2 new people to the community, which is always a good thing. Always want more players getting into Dark Souls and basically experiencing everything that it has to offer. It's always something that we're looking for. Jesus Christ. Superstar! Ooh. Are we halving that? Yeah. Can't even remember what I was saying now. Yeah, I haven't actually had the game here recently. I've introduced 2 new people. One of them's one of my close friends, and another one is actually my brother. And before my brother actually bought the game for himself, I lent him my copy because I wasn't really playing it at the time, and then I just sort of immediately was missing playing the game. So when I actually got the game back off him, it's pretty much all I've been playing, you know, extensively. So that's the reason why I've been playing it so much. I've done pretty much a complete Dex playthrough. My favourite style of playthrough, like a buff build. Dex using the Uchigatana as a primary weapon. God, I fucking love it. But so yeah, since I've had it back, I've just played the ever-living cock knocker out of it, and yeah, and just been done with it. So what I'm going to try and do in this build, this little playthrough, is, as I say, quality build. I'm going to try and get to 40 dex and 40 strength. And I'm also tempted to actually try and sprinkle a few points into faith if I get sort of, you know, an extensive amount of souls that I've really got no use for whilst I'm playing. Because I do want to use buffs, but you know, I sort of I rely on magic weapon, great magic weapon, and crystal magic weapon a little bit too much when I play this game. It's pretty much the buffs that I always go to, so I want to use maybe the Dark Moon Blade or Sunlight Blade. I've not decided which one yet, but that's much further on in the game anyway, so I won't have to sort of make that decision for a while yet. So let's not worry about that for the time being. For the time being, I'm going to go through my whole routine at the beginning, which is picking up soul items. You know, when you start a new game, it's like this tiny little amount of souls doesn't matter for absolute shit. But, you know, when you're starting, starting a new, you know, literally a new game, as in starting with the character that you've already got, it's just such a pathetic amount of souls that you don't really need it. So, but yeah, at the beginning of the game, I always do this. I always just run around and pick up all the shit that I need to. I always come down here. I usually don't pick up all the stuff in here, but I'm going to this time just because I can. And yeah. The difference as well, this is what I wanted to touch on probably in this first video, is what's going to be slightly different. Well, not slightly different, it's a huge difference actually, from my sort of claws build, because that was a new game with a character that I already had. I didn't need to do everything in the game. I didn't need to go around and pick up everything, pick up all the items that there is to pick up, because there's no need, because I've already got them. But this time, because I'm starting a whole new game, I can do, you know, the entirety of Blighttown, which I probably wouldn't have done otherwise, and I didn't do. I actually did have it recorded, and I actually didn't do it all. I took the Valley of the Drake shortcut, so you know, that's one thing. I actually do prefer actually doing everything in the game. I pretty much always do it, even on new game. I usually do all the optional bosses and all that kind of thing. It's just the way I am. I'm a perfectionist and completionist. I've mentioned it in the past. So yeah, I picked up the wing spear. Now I'm not sure. I think I might have to have a little bit more dex to use it. Which I'll be able to do now if I use my soul items, probably. And I also want to go down and get the S-Dock, and do the little Valley of the Drakes run as well. So let's use all my soul items before I rest at that bonfire. Yeah, I want to do the quick Valley of the Drakes run, pick up the red tear stone and the other shit that's there, and yeah, we'll be done with it. Actually, yeah, you pick up the spider shield there, if I'm not mistaken. Pick it up on the bridge just outside the floodgates in New Londo, I think. So let's check actually how much. I'm pretty sure I need a little bit more dex to use it. Yeah, 15 dex. I need to level up dex once. Go strength. I'll start faith early. Just because, you know, some of the stuff that I want to use does actually take quite a lot of dex, so yeah, we'll just be done with that. You know what, I don't actually need my shield. I don't actually need anything, to be honest, because I'm not going to be fighting anything. I'm just picking up the air stock and then running through the Valley of the Drakes, and then just probably dark signing out. Dark signing back to the bonfire. I'm sorry if this is boring, but I do always like to do this at the beginning of the game. I suppose I could have cut it out, really. But yeah, just grin and bear it, you fat bastards. Yeah, let's pick up all the soul items. Try and get a sort of bit of a boost in level early on in the game, which is always useful. And the beloved air stock. Oh god, I love it. I would use that a bit, because it is a quality weapon, but I think it's a little bit, I don't know, I think it gets, I mean, I know I use it a lot, so you know, it's like I said, I'm not really sure about certain weapons in the community. I know the really popular ones, you know, for different builds, like your dex weapons, you've got stuff like the Uchigatana and the Great Scythe that are really, you know, used a lot, and strength, you've got like the Zweihander and things like that. But I'm not really sure with, you know, all the weapons how much they actually get used by the majority of the community. So basically I'm just going to be using weapons that are sort of foreign to me, basically, that I don't use very often, or I haven't used extensively. And the wing spear is definitely one that I usually always pick it up, but I never use it. And I've heard that it's a much better option than just a normal spear, so I'll be checking that out. And yeah, what I'll probably do as well is, because I've obviously my PC monitor's right there, I'll probably get the Dark Souls wiki up as well, just to see what quality weapons I can actually use. Sometimes when I do this run, I actually do go for this soul item, but I'm not going to do it this time. I'm not going to risk it. I might come back and pick that up a little bit later. It's actually been quite a while since I've died doing this run, which is odd, because I used to die near enough every time I did it. You know, I'd get lucky like once, one of the times that I did it, and actually do the run without dying. And there's the spider shield, and that is one of the shields I'm going to be using, because again, it's a shield that I've never really invested much into, and it's actually quite good. Another thing that I've been doing since I've had this game back is I've been trying to do the whole game in co-op with my mate that I'd sort of introduced into to Dark Souls. Yeah, I'd been trying to co-op the whole game. Obviously, there's certain areas that you can't. I don't know why I just did that. There's certain areas that you can't co-op, like when you go back to Asylum, things like that. But yeah, I've been doing a bit of that, and yeah. So I've been enjoying the game a lot more. Again, in my co-op build, actually, I'd sort of gone down a path that I'd not really done before. I have my first ever playthrough, my original character. It was pretty much a tank. By the end of the game, I had, because obviously the original version of the game was much more difficult than this game actually is now, because of patches and stuff like that. You know, stuff that they've changed in the game. Much easier, and I've actually been sort of revisiting the original version because my brother actually doesn't have online capabilities at the moment. So I've been seeing what the game was like, you know, when it first released, and it's so odd. It's so odd seeing it, stuff like the, you know, 100% physical block eagle shield and the rusted iron ring that you can, you know, ninja flick with 50%. It's really odd. It's a really strange experience to be seeing it again, like that. But yeah, on my my first playthrough of this game, I pretty much went completely down the tank route. That's pretty much just the way I played the game. And by the end of the game, I had the black iron set. I think it was near enough fully upgraded. I don't think it was entirely fully upgraded, but it was close. It was there or thereabouts. And the Black Knight halberd, because obviously everybody knows how beast that weapon was, and pretty much still is, but it sort of gets looked down on a little bit now because of how, you know, how many people used it when the game first released. So yeah, but I'd never really done, you know, a raw strength build using things other than really heavy, you know, armor and stuff like that. My co-op build, my primary weapon is the pickaxe, and oh my word, that weapon is absolutely beastly. I'd heard good things, but I'd never really tested it out for myself, and I've got to say I'm very, very impressed. It's a very, very good weapon. And my secondary weapon that I'd upgraded to plus 15, getting the slab from the Asylum and then the slab that's in the DLC. Obviously, there's other ways to get them, i.e. Sigmaya's quest chain, and if the dark raves drop them, things like that. But the weapon that I fully upgraded was the Man Serpent Greatsword, and again, I'd heard that that's pretty much the best strength-based greatsword, and I've got to agree. I've got to agree because on my tank build, first playthrough, that I actually pretty much used the majority of the strength weapons because I was a bit of a noob at the game, and you know, it's just, you sort of base everything off power, and you know, when you're looking at weapons, you know, just base damage, and you don't really know much about the game, and use like great shields and stuff like that because they've got the best defense. That's just the way, you know, that's the way my mind worked anyway whilst I was playing through it. I'm not sure, you know, people who had more experience like in Demon Souls and things like that probably knew what they were doing a little bit more than that, but yeah, that's just the way I work. So that's why I ended up with such a, you know, a tank style build, and that's just the way I played it. But yeah, I tested out a lot. I got stuck there. I tested out a lot of the strength-based greatswords, and from that experience and using the Man Serpent Greatsword recently, I've got to say the Man Serpent Greatsword is just unbelievably powerful. It's absolutely incredibly powerful, and but yeah, I just love the pickaxe too much. I just fucking love it. It's such a beast. Again, that's a weapon that, you know, a lot of people know how good it is, but I don't. I think it's a fairly rarely used weapon. I might be wrong on that front, but that's just the way I see it at the moment. And yeah. So obviously at the beginning of this game, I'm going to be running through the game like a new player. Just because I want to, and I have the time to do it, and I want, as I say, I want to get a bit of a a bit of a soul and level boost at the beginning, getting as many souls and shit as I can, just so I can get my build earlier on. Oh, it broke my guard, unbelievable! Right, oh, thought I was gonna get it right in his fucking chops. But yeah, I want to try and get as much of a sort of level and soul boost as I can early on. These episodes as well, on a completely different note, these episodes are probably going to be about half an hour long. On a rare occasion I might do one that's a little bit longer, just because my computer's not massively, oh fuck, I forgot to pick this up. It's not massively powerful, so I can't, you know, it takes a while for me to render and upload stuff, and I want to get stuff out fairly regularly because of the exile I've just had, pretty much. So yeah, probably about half an hour episodes. Obviously, this first episode is going to be pretty boring. I apologise for that. Obviously, it'll get much more entertaining as I go on and I start, you know, testing out these different quality builds. So I'm definitely going to +5 this first, and then just have maybe a little bit of a glance through on the Dark Souls wiki and see what the future can hold in terms of unusual quality weapons. Because this pretty much now, because I played this game so much, this is probably the only build I haven't done. You know, I've gone Faith, I've gone Intelligence, and, you know, in conjunction with Strength and in conjunction with Dex, and all that jazz. So yeah, that's just the way I've done it so far, and I think the quality build is, like I said, probably the only build that I've not really invested much into, and there is some really, really good quality weapons. So, and obviously if you get your stat distribution right, it can be very, very useful. Oh, you surprised me there. Fucking hell. I'll break your guard and then I'll just stab. Oof. That was the fucking goot shot. Yeah. And it's good as well because there's this merchant early on that I can actually, you know, I can see what quality weapons he's got. I know. I think the weapons that he sells are pretty you know, fairly regular weapons. They're not really. There's not really. I know Andre sells some that are a little bit more unusual. Bastard Sword. Another thing that I've been tempted to use, because again I've not really used that, so I'll probably buy that when I get there. But let's just see what he has to offer us. And I usually always buy a couple of pieces of chain armor as well. It's just something that I pretty much always do, and you've got to remember to buy the residence key. But other than that, that is the spear is a strength weapon, but again it's pretty regular, so I don't really want to be using that. The hand axe is another quality weapon. Pyromancer starting weapon. I don't know. It's only 450 souls, so fuck it. I'll get it. I know it hits really, really fast. But other than that, the rapier again is a quality weapon, but again, I've seen it used fairly often. Stuff like the partisan is another thing that I probably will try out a little bit.
Thank you kindly.
And see what that's all about. Obviously, that's a spear with slashing attacks. God, I really need a drink. I'm gonna have to have a sip of this Pepsi. Motherfucker. But yeah, I always just buy a couple of pieces of chain armor as well. That's why I'm using all these souls here. It's because, you know, I haven't got any poise at the moment, so I may as well just buy it. And because I'm mid-rolling anyway, I don't really care about buying stuff and putting a helmet back on. I will buy the helm and the armor for now. Oh yeah, shit! I always forget to go this way.
What's the matter?
It's hard to actually, you know, have an early opinion of spears because it looks like they're really weak, pretty much because they are on normal attacks. You know, it's not what they're really used for, but they can be safely used from behind a shield, which is a really, really good feature of the spears. Critical attacks you want to be trying to do, buffs as well, because the weapon hits really fast. And yeah, that's pretty much the things that they are. They're really good at. So that's their strengths. But the other strength with this spear is that it's much longer than a regular spear. So yeah, if you don't want to get hit and you want to keep your distance, this is probably the spear of choice. The pike as well is really, really long. I think that might actually have more reach than this. I'll actually have a look at the pike. I think Andre sells it, if I'm not mistaken. I always forget which merchant sells stuff because I don't really like, you know, not merchants, you know, obviously merchants and blacksmiths. But with the blacksmiths, I only ever really buy upgrade items off them. So it's, you know, it's rare that I ever buy stuff off them. So I always get confused as to which ones hold which items. But I know a couple of the ones that Andre holds. I know he holds the Bastard Sword and the War Pick. The War Pick again is another weapon that I really like, and I have used that quite extensively, so probably won't be investing much into that. I think the Wing Spear is one that, because you get it early on, I'm tempted to invest most of my upgrading into. So this episode's probably only got about 8 minutes left or something, 7 minutes. And as I say, I apologise that it's probably going to be really boring, but you know what it's like early on in the game. It's just running through. You know, everyone's got a routine that they stick to. This is just mine. I always like to pick all the soul items up and try and get as many soul items and things as I can at the beginning to boost my level and things like that. Shit. But after that, hopefully the entertainment will be coming once I start facing some bosses and upgrading my unusual weapons and shit like that. Another thing is I haven't really commentated much recently at all. Like I said, I've been on a huge exile, and the only video I've uploaded is like a COD mini-tage so far since I've been back on the scene, so I haven't actually commentated a video, so I'm sorry if this is a little bit rusty sounding. I'll listen back to it before I record the next episode and see what improvements I can make. Fuck off with your firebombs! See what improvements I can make. Try and be a little bit more entertaining. That's what you fucking deserve for spamming those liquid pieces of death. What I'm going to do as well, I'm going to climb up here. I never climb up here. These are annoying as fuck as well. I remember how annoyed I was getting with these on my first playthrough because I didn't know where the fuck I keep getting jammed on stuff. I love the pokes. Poke, poke. That's why I love the S-Stock. Poke. Fucking Pocahontas sword. No, don't fall off! Oh. Probably was only a firebomb, but never mind. Oh, that didn't work. I need to do a sprint jump. Complete fail. So what I might do is, because this has taken so long, it's funny, I'm trying to sort of compare it to my Claws playthrough and how long it took me. I can't even remember what I did during the first episode on that. I think I got past Taurus though. But as I say, I didn't go and do all those runs at the beginning of the game, so it's that's why it's taken so long. I didn't go down and get the S-Stock. I didn't go to the Valley of Drakes. I don't think I did anyway. I'll have to watch back for confirmation of that, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. So what I'll probably do is, because this is about 26 minutes in, something like that, what I'll probably do is I will cut the video off at Taurus's boss gate, because I'm gonna challenge the Black Knight. So that'll take a little bit of time. Thank you for kindling the bonfire, and I said thank you for the music, for giving it to me. And I say thank you for the Estus, for giving it to... Oh, Christ. And I say fuck you for the backstab, for making me miss that shit. Ah, God, he's taking his fucking sweet time. There he is. That's one backstab. Mistimed. Stab. Come on. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. I want to be making any mistakes here because fucking... I don't think I'm on base vitality actually. I think I did level up vitality a little bit, didn't I? I might be wrong on that front, but whatever. See if I can actually chain them now. Now he's in the middle of the floor. Murder's floor. Oh yeah, I'm really failing at the moment. Not used to this spear. There's another backstab. Probably one more. Again failed. That pathetic damage on the normal attack. And he should be done for there. He is. And chunk. But he didn't drop his sword. I'm not sure what the scaling is on that. I'm not too sure. It might be a quality weapon actually. I think it might be CD. If I remember rightly, I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure somebody will correct me on that in the comments if anybody watches this video. And what I mean by that is the fact that this new YouTube that's what it should be called, not the new YouTube layout, the YouTube layout. No, but this new YouTube layout is so cruel to small channels. It just is. I mean, I didn't used to get a massive amount of views, but now I literally get next to no views on any video that I upload. And it's because people simply aren't finding the videos, it's like a rich get richer system, and it's really unfair, and it's quite disheartening. But as I've said in the past, I really just enjoy doing this, so I don't have any plans to stop. And this fucking crystal lizard is taking the piss. It's hard to fucking hit them with spears as well. Fuck you, you dick. Taking the piss. I prefer when I get large shards. But anyway, Yep, I am going to cut the first episode off here, as I said earlier on, and I will say it again. I apologise for how boring that first episode was. I promise it'll be more entertaining. I'll try and sharpen up my commentary, and obviously we're going to be starting to challenge some bosses, and then probably, maybe in this next episode or the third one, we'll be able to start upgrading some shit, so that's when it'll get more entertaining. Hopefully you will join me for the next episode and be inspired to do so, and that's it. See you next time.